Conservatives in Western Canada pass law rejecting federal sovereignty. A new law in the province of Alberta radically circumscribes federal authority, advancing the agenda of the province's far-right secessionist movement.
Here's a summary of the article.
Many legal experts say the law is unconstitutional because it claims the authority to nullify bills passed by federal lawmakers. While provinces historically have a little room in Canada's system in how they enforce and follow federal legislation, Alberta now takes two large steps forward to say that the existence of flexible federalism is a grounds for the province to refuse, in a direct and frontal way, the applications of federal laws, said Eric Adams, a professor of constitutional law at the University of Alberta in Edmonton. Continue reading the main story. Jason Kenney, Ms. Smith's predecessor as Premier and a Conservative who resigned from his seat in Alberta's legislature shortly after the proposed law was introduced, issued a statement when he stepped down that was widely interpreted as critical of Ms. Smith. Our democratic life is veering away from ordinary prudential debate towards a polarization that undermines our bedrock institutions and principles, Mr. Kenney said. Critics of the law have included business and energy groups that are usually allies of conservative politicians but that contend that selectively disregarding federal rules could drive away investment and cost the province jobs.
This post received a score of 5,200, with an upvote ratio of 91%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
The Canadian Constitution clearly lays out federal and provincial responsibilities. The act is entirely symbolic, a political stunt.
This is correct.
I like what you did there.
If your entire sovereignty movement is based upon not liking the current Prime Minister, it will never succeed.
If your entire sovereignty movement just blatantly ignores the basic structures of government as set out in the Constitution, which is also the basis of your government's authority, you're gonna have a bad time.
Isn't that the whole idea of a sovereignty movement though? To disregard the structure of the current government? To reject the constitution of the state you don't want to be a part of? To reject federal authority? No secession movement has ever followed the rules. That's the point of secession. Not agreeing or disagreeing with it, but that's just how secession works.
Yes, but I believe you mean secession. Sorry, not trying to be a dick, just clearing up misunderstandings.
Oh shoot, you're right, thanks.
I heard that Notley held a meeting in Calgary with business leaders and had a packed room. While she is ostensibly NDP, she is at least known and stable in her politics. I'll also note that she got agreements for an East Coast pipeline, with Saskatchewan, Manitoba and Ontario, which the Conservatives couldn't do.
For everyone that's not Canadian, the NDP is considered our socialist party. In Alberta it's sorta closer to centre, but it's an interesting tidbit that the NDP seems more business-friendly than the right wing. Especially given there's been a backlash from business communities during the NDP rising in other provinces.
It's really not too fair to conflate the ANDP, Alberta's provincial party, and the NDP federally. They share a name but don't have a whole lot to do with one another otherwise. It would be the Alberta Liberal Party contending, but their brand isn't exactly a selling point at the provincial level.
Except by the party rules, which state that there is no difference between each provincial party and the federal party and that they have a combined membership.
The party constitution doesn't say that there is no difference. They have a shared membership. There's some ex officio delegate entitlements for conventions based on federal, provincial positions, and provincial policy is not allowed to contradict federal policy. However, their structures, staff, leadership, finances and operations are independent. As long as the provincial wing doesn't say something like, "We support private healthcare," they can pretty much do what they want.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.